Bago pa man ang trilogy ni Manny Pacquiao at Juan Manuel Marquez ay minsan nang may isang Pinoy pa ang nagpahirap at literal na pinadugo ang muka ng legendary Mexican boxer na si Juan Manuel Marquez. Ang Pinoy na ito ay ang tubong Dumaguete City, Negros Oriental, ang binansagang executioner ng Philippine boxing na si Jim Rex Haka. Lumipad ang ating kababayang Pinoy sa Estados Unidos para sa isang malaking laban kontra sa Meksikano. Noong mga panahon na ito, mga master, ay matunog at tinatawag noon na pinakamatinig na counter-puncher god si Juan Manuel Marquez. Kaya naman, sa laban ng Meksikano kontra sa Pinoy ay mas marami nga po ang pabor sa lakas ng Meksikano. Bagamat super heavy underdog ang ating kababayan na si Jim Rex Haka ay kahit konting katiting ay hindi po ito nagpakita man lang ng takot sa Meksikano. Bagkus ay buong tapang po nitong hinarap ang delikadong Mexican boxer. Sa laban na ito ay didepensahan po ni Juan Manuel Marquez ang hawak po nitong titulo na WBO Interim World Featherweight title. Sa round 1 pa lang po mga master ay nakikipagsabayan na ang ating kababayang Pinoy. Naging agresibo po ito at pinapakita ng Pinoy na ito na hindi siya natatakot sa isang Juan Manuel Marquez. Pinakita po ng Pinoy na hindi siya isang mahina lamang na madaling tatalunin at kakainin lang ng Meksikano.
Marquez in the traditional Mexican colors, Haka in the red and blue. He is a sex. Now he gets a little nervous. He's got to go up against a conventional fighter, and there you see Marquez land a straight right.
Marquez is fighting a lot more aggressive than Hinangaan and punching with a lot more authority. He seems to be very determined to be impressive tonight.
Does, but I'll tell you one thing, Haka has fast hands and he's making Marquez's hands look
fights ago. He lost a decision that more than a few.
Manny mentioned he's going for power. As you mentioned earlier, friend, he even acknowledges he's looking for the KO tonight. I never heard him say something like that.
Yeah, and he's got caught with a beautiful straight left right there by Haka.
Haka doing work to the body, but Marquez spins him around and now goes to town in the corner.
This could turn out to be a much more exciting fight than we all expected.
It was a left hook from Marquez.
Marquez and Haka trading blows, and we're just 2 minutes into the first round. Marquez doubles up with the left hand and unloads a right in a nice combination.
He's fighting a fast southpaw from the Philippines, but this one doesn't hit like a ton of bricks as Pacquiao does.
A straight left through the center that Pacquiao was so effective with when he fought Marquez.
When we go to the corner of Haka,
sa round 2, maganda pa rin po ang pinapakita ng Pinoy. Literal na nakikipagsabayan talaga ito sa isang mahusay na counter-puncher god na si Juan Manuel Marquez. Sa bawat pagsugod ng Pinoy ay napapaatras nito ang matapang na Meksikano. Dito din po pinakita ng Pinoy ang lakas ng kamao nito. Nang tamaan ito ng isang solid na suntok ang Meksikano na nagpayanig at muntik nang magpabaksak dito.
I think that it was Marquez who did some of the hurting in that round, although
couldn't tell if Marquez just was off balance or if he got rocked. Beat now.
Marquez is a wee tad slower than he normally is, I think, because he's trying to fight for power tonight. Normally he's a lot faster, a lot more elusive with his upper body movement. Caught with a right hook, even though he might have been off balance. It could have been a facial knockdown still.
He just landed a straight right.
Nope, and also Haka just landed a left, a little uppercut inside.
Here we go, man.
You know, going into this fight, it doesn't seem like this is the kind of fighter that would prepare you for Manny Pacquiao. And yet, Manny, it looks to me like Haka's fighting similarly to Pacquiao in many respects.
A little slower version, not as in.
There you see what Marquez does so well. He leans back and he counterpunches with his left.
But Haka's counterpunching him also sometimes when he comes in. By simply moving back, which is interesting because I thought he would be moving around a lot more, but Haka's just taking a little step back sometimes, just enough to let Marquez miss.
Over time, class tells. Let's see if it tells in this fight. If Marquez can make adjustments and start to pull away.
Marquez trying to end round 2.
Sa round 3 ay tila ba mas nagiging exciting na ang laban. Dito na nagsisimulang bumawi ang Meksikano. Tila ba nabuhay ang dugo nito matapos matikman nito ang malakas sa suntok ng Pinoy. Pero malakas din talaga ang panga ng Pinoy. Bagamat tinatamaan ng solido ay hindi man lang ito natitinag.
Position himself. Instead of throwing punches and just staying there, he punches it in, he pulls back just enough, like he does right there.
Nice wide left hook shook Haka.
Manny, I've heard you describe Tito Trinidad.
And I think ditto on that one.
Yeah.
It was blocked, but there was some pepper coming off that from Marquez.
I've seen Haka miss a little bit more in this round than he was earlier.
The one thing we know that once Haka slows down at all, Marquez is going to step it up, take it to another level.
See Marquez applying a little more pressure here.
Not only that, but Haka was always keeping that little distance between them. He's not that effective with it now, I think, because he's tiring a little bit. Where he was always pulling back. Now Marquez is beginning to get his range now.
Marquez shows you a little bit of the speed that he says he has left.
He looks like a slower fighter to me than he did.
An uppercut. Haka's punch output slows down just a little bit. Marquez trying to steal another round.
Sa round 5, dito na nagsimulang dumugo ang mukha ng Mexican legend. Ang round na ito ang nagpatunay at nagpahiyaw sa mga manonood dahil sa ganda ng sabayan ng dalawang manlalaro. Marami ang humanga sa pinapamalas na galing ng Pinoy.
That first round was very, very close. Could have gone either way. I was really surprised at the style of Jim Rex Haka. I mean, this is two guys standing there fighting on a dime. In any case, the second round, Haka staggered him. I thought he won that. But round 3, one man will Marquez had his best round of the fight. 2-1, Haka.
Not uncommon for Marquez to start slowly. It is uncommon to see him fight with this kind of passion. He seems to be not only fighting aggressively, but like he really is trying to take this guy's head off.
Both fighters now opening up a little bit here in the 4th round. If he had matched this kind of passion in previous fights, he maybe then would have got the fights that he wanted to have.
Or perhaps he wouldn't have won some of those fights and not been where he, not been as dominant as he was.
All right, touche.
But that's the tightrope that Barrera has walked in recent years, where he's become technical when he's needed the win and exciting when he was clearly better than the other
But
guy.
that's following a long career where he was explosive.
Yes.
Nice overhand right from Juan Manuel Marquez. Haka now trying to lead with the left hand.
Haka doesn't have the punching power, Marquez, but he's fighting a very good fight, and thus far, this round seemingly is winning the round.
Normally against southpaws, Manny, guys are on guard for that straight left hand and don't see the right hook. Marquez seems to be caught with that straight left hand a little more than you'd anticipate.
Yeah, I know that I'm really beginning to have a lot of second thoughts about the fight with Pacquiao, because Pacquiao punches with a lot more speed and power than Haka.
On the other hand, the fact that he looks vulnerable still, he is fighting a southpaw with a good straight left hand, and that's put him in kind of the, he's active against a guy like that. Might that not be an advantage against Pacquiao in a rematch?
But what I'm concerned about, Marquez seemed to have lost just a little step in his speed, and you can't do that with a guy like Pacquiao.
Close up.
¿Cómo te sientes?
How are you feeling? Feel good? Good.
Ganas el round, pero entonces pones el percance de un cabezazo.
Won the round, but be careful. Don't come in with your head. Careful with your head.
right here, you can see Haka landing little short punches here. Not enough power on him, but still he's becoming a much busier fighter than he had been the last round. And as a result, he's probably back into the fight on the scorecard, whether it's according to what Harold's score or the official score. But I see it as a close competitive fight on the scorecards.
I think it's an even fight.
You saw Haka's corner, Jose Reyes there, the cut man, with that cut under control over Haka's left eye. In the 5th round of a scheduled 12-rounder here at Dodge Arena in Hidalgo, Texas, Fred Charles alongside Emmanuel Stewart and Max Kellerman. And this was supposed to be a rebirth here for Juan Manuel Marquez. Got his hands full.
He does, but I'll tell you what, should he come out with a win here, I think this is more in his interest than it would have been to just chase a guy around for 12 rounds.
Well, the opponent is fighting perfect, and especially if he's looking forward to fighting Pacquiao. He's got a watered-down version of Pacquiao right here in front of him.
This is why some fighters don't watch tape, and Haka says he doesn't watch tape of his opponents. Because maybe the guy on the tape is the guy you face.
Well, gamesmanship maybe there by Marquez. Haka, he wanted to make sure everything was all good. Marquez wouldn't touch gloves. And now there's a cut.
Time. Neutral corner, right there. Right there.
Marketable than, say, Barrera, who seemed more human through the years.
Blood now.
Come back from a bad cut over his eye, down perhaps on points.
Now see what happened.
To beat a guy, that will go a long way towards making him a more popular fighter.
Marquez shot a big volley trying to, get even after getting cut. And now that he's trying to take a little break, Haka's trying to take control again.
Blood streaming down the right side of Marquez's face.
Sa mga sumunod na rounds hanggang round 7 ay tila ba patuloy pa rin ang matinding laban ng Pinoy sa malakas na Meksikano. Sabayan kung sabayan, sobrang ganda ng pinapakita ng Pinoy na lalong nagpahanga sa mga manonood.
Fred, I gotta tell you, I think this kid's won 4 rounds in a row. I'm talking about Marquez. Even with the bleeding, even with the blood going in his eye, he's landed a great right hand and he's winning these rounds. But I want to say something. You were right about we go to the scorecards after the 4th round. The case, the fight is stopped by that cut. But I gotta say this: if the fight is stopped in the middle of the round, you score the partial round. So therefore, you gotta start fast in every round. Make sure you don't lose the first half because you gotta score that partial round. 4-2, Marquez.
Marquez catches Haka with a left uppercut.
Haka has a good chin. That's the only reason he hasn't been knocked out, because Marquez is caught him with good punches, and Marquez punches good with both hands. Even though he punches good with the left hook, he has a good right hand. But Haka just takes a good punch.
Not only is this the kind of fight that will endear Marquez to the fans, but maybe it will make other top fighters think that he's more vulnerable than he used to be, and therefore make it easier to make some of those top fights.
Well, that is truly the case, I believe. I think he gets hit a little bit more than he used to, but he's fighting a lot more, too.
Haka momentarily there thought he got hit low. Lawrence Paul wasn't having it.
If it was a straight punch on the belt line, so it means that maybe mentally he's starting to fall apart a little bit. But there was nothing serious about the low blow.
Nice uppercut by Marquez, and then he does a nice job of stepping back to get some separation, and he comes back with a left.
I mean, for Marquez, he just landed a right uppercut from the outside against a world-class southpaw.
Yeah,
That's so, I mean, how do you do something like that?
And no punch has wobbled this boy Haka yet still. He's been hit with some tremendous shots, but none of the punches have caused him to get in any trouble.
Juan Manuel Marquez, a I mentioned he lost 2 fights ago. Unanimous decision to Chris John in Indonesia. He counterpunched his way through that fight even though he thought he won it. In his last fight against Turtsak Chandang, we saw this type of effort from Marquez.
He's fighting a very good, exciting power punching fight tonight and very determined.
The fight was stopped in the 7th with Marquez winning.
Marquez, the Norwood fight, most people thought he won. He lost the decision. The Chris John fight also, most people thought he won. I thought both fights were very good.
Sa paglalim pa ng mga rounds ay makikita pa rin talaga ang tatag at tapang ng Pinoy. Bagamat pagod na at nauubusan na ng lakas, ay patuloy pa rin itong sumasabay sa malakas sa kalaban. Ngunit sa round 9 ay hindi na po kinaya ng Pinoy. Sumalo na ito ng suntok sa Meksikano na siyang nagtapos sa laban.
That fighters with less heart than Marquez would quit knowing they were ahead in the fight.
And a lot of fighters, once they realize that they are comfortable hit on points, they would just actually run the rest of the fight, even if there's no cut involved, just on points, which is what you see a lot in international amateur boxing, which makes it so boring now. Once a guy find out he's 7-2 ahead, he says, oh, I got 3 more rounds to go, I just run.
To Marquez's credit, he's not looking just to win, but to win in a way that will kind of tip the scale away from Barrera and towards him in terms of public demand for a Pacquiao fight.
And he's got 4 more rounds to go altogether. Just the fight is still just a third of the way to get, still left to go. That's a long time when you're bleeding like that.
And the guys, a point that was just brought to my attention from the truck, Marquez may not have even known what Lawrence Cole was saying. He may not have understood him.
Good point.
See Haka wanting to take advantage of the situation. Marquez's corner doing a nice job on that cut because it is hardly as much of an issue, the blood that is, as it was in round 8.
Really nice job, you're right.
Nacho Bernstein happens to be his trainer, cut man, and manager.
Doing it all, huh?
And has been his manager since he was a kid. I guess when he was about 8 or 9 years old. He's been always the boxing guy in his life, for he and his brother Raw. Rafael.
Haka now trying to do some work against the ropes, and he comes back with a strong left hook to the body. Oh, big left hook by Marquez. He double.
Bagamat natalo ang Pinoy ay tumatakbo at hindi ito nalimutan ng mga tao sa Amerika, kung saan minsan nang may isang di kilalang Pinoy ang nagpahirap at nagpadugo sa mukha ng malaalamat na si Juan Manuel Marquez. Maraming salamat po mga master at hanggang dito na lang ang ating video.